Am I? It's 6 p.m., isn't it? I might be a couple seconds late, but it might be 8:01, but 6:01, yeah. I forgot to change the title of the stream before I started it up. Okay. Yeah, I know. Someone. Um, that it's just a component of the okay. Okay, there we go. Victor's component of the um diplomatic effort retained. Did need to remain aboard the Candy. It is Crystal Candy, right? That's why I named that ship. Yeah. Ooh. I see you're enjoying the thing. Yeah, I'm going to need to do some mods for my. Nice. Yeah. One day there will be things to spend those points on. I figure I can let you steal my hat. Yeah. Other VTubers allow you to steal their hair. You shall be able to steal my hat. Which was at least. Oh, that's right. I was going to do. Sponsors. Um, mm, um, Lab wasn't sped. Okay, let's insert those quotes. Um, are you of the opinion old perk that the new perk still too powerful? Some feedback. Sorry. I'm open to feedback, even if it just means bumping up the price. The original version um was very badly written. Oh. Resolved for resources that you had even personally have some resource. It would still detect you had the capabilities. Even industry. Yeah, logistics. Be more of a uh, gives you them have soul. Um, hey Zalrex, how you doing? Uh, doing decently. I had um access to someone. Mm, I don't think I ever intended. Sure thing. First. Uh, by itself, it shouldn't. Uh, um, somewhat by the jumped off for always a bigger robot. Mm, Up manufacturing, scale up, and uh, process. Downside is that it doesn't work. It is limited. Single at once. Um, the way I'm writing it means that the downside single project at once. Um, uh, mm, mm, um, it optimizes, but to the say, but at the detriment. You, uh, Thank you, I guess. Detriment of any other project that. That is ban-worthy offense. Oh god damn it. I don't know why that didn't get immediately deleted, but whatever. Keeping up my backlog for second. How you doing, man? So what, oh yeah, you're doing audio tests. How'd they go? A little bit. Woke up early and was out of the house for most of the day. Okay. But yeah, Zed was here for a little bit. He's probably just like grabbing dinner or something. He's over on Twitch. Yeah. By the way, thank you for the follow. I saw the email notification earlier today. You can kinda find a certain the big thing. It takes resources. Assets. But may not have considered. I do have an Amizabot, but Amizabot is mainly just watching and then doing some basic mod behaviors, I believe. Oh, it was earlier because I forgot to do the thing that. Oh yeah. It should be live now. But yeah, Amizabot was broken earlier because StreamerBot has a lock is apparently single threaded. So He's caught on Discord? Oh yeah, no, the automatic posting thing. Yeah, that one. I forgot to hit. I forgot to hit enter. Yeah. Basically, the way it works is that when I start up the stream, a little like text box enters with my message for the day, and I need to say usually I either hit enter or I update the message or whatever, and I need to do that manually. But I started the stream a teensy bit later than usual, because I forgot to change the title of the stream before I started it, and I forgot to like run the automation. Um, mm, mm, um, hmm. I mean, the question is the story enjoyable to read? Because in my experience, like for some reason, there's been like a random oversupply of these sorts of generic AI written stories on a bunch of sites. They all feel super samey to read, really generic, not particularly interesting. Yeah, so at this point, all the stuff that made it, like, if you think about it, different people like different authors, right? There are people who like certain things being focused on. There are other people who don't like other things. There's a couple of writers that I really enjoy, like MP Pie Player, right? Who wrote Taylor Vagra. I know a lot of people who friggin' hate Taylor Vagra. I love Taylor Vagra. So I do not think that an AI system could have come up with Taylor Vagra. Which is why it feels weird when I see a bunch of random AI written fan works, because, I mean, what even is it for? Fanfiction's free. Which has it meant they could disappear. They're loud. So, like, unless for some, like, benighted reason, say, some reason you enjoy reading AI slop stories, then like maybe that's good. But at that point, you might as well just have it generate other stories. Occasionally, I've come across something vaguely interesting, but I just kind of feel sad that, oh, there's a legitimately interesting concept here, but it's like wrecked by the fact that the writing is samey and boring and not interesting at all to read. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little sad sometimes. Because, like, it does tell me that there are people who could have been really good writers. Probably better than me with enough practice. But they're, like, so tied up in like, being worried about failing that they just don't. But did mean that everyone woke the tour of the station. So, first of all, I have said, so my opinion is that the AI bubble is going to pop in the same way that the .com bubble is going to pop. Had already popped. It is not that AI will end and then nothing else will happen. It is the current massive overvaluation of AI companies is going to end, and like, we will see some sort of realistic AI implementation coming up sometime soon, right? It's not that, oh, AI pops and say the AI bubble pops and then AI goes away. It is AI bubble pops, the billions or trillions of dollars of investment into AI dries up, and a more realistic product comes out of it. But Fable 5 is like marginally better under the hood than Claude's previous stuff. What is getting a little bit better is like the harnesses for using Fable. So that's one thing. Next thing is that there are already signs that we might be closer to the pop than I originally believed. See, I was of the opinion that the AI bubble pop would be in sometime in 2027-ish, maybe 2028, depending on how things went. Right? Thing is, we just got some significant news. The first is from IBM. See, IBM fucked up. They screwed up when they said that their growth this year has not been matching what they expected, because everybody is panic buying hardware, which means that all the SaaS companies are getting fucked over because people are saving money on SaaS in order to keep up with like hardware costs and infrastructure costs. So IBM just tanked like hell. They lost like 25% of their valuation. Then you have Oracle, right? Oracle got their credit rating downgraded recently because the owner of Oracle basically said, we think that it's possible that OpenAI won't pay us and then we'll be fucked. Because basically, Oracle has been one of OpenAI's big partners in terms of their big hyperscaler build-out nonsense, yada, 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 right? Except they are running into... They're, like, taking loans out in order to build the new, like, was it Stargate facility or whatever it is that they called it? And there is a significant risk that OpenAI won't be able to pay off those. OpenAI won't be able to pay off that because A, OpenAI needs to become profitable to do that, and B, they need to become a lot more profitable in order to do that. So that's the thing. Meta looks posed to start fucking things up as well, because apparently they're going to try and enter the AI market by subsidizing their AI with their ad revenue from like Facebook and Instagram and all that shit. And they're going to try and undercut OpenAI and Claude using their new model, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. Like the new Facebook model. XAI's Kimi 3 is supposed to be better than supposedly tests better than Claude Fable or Claude this one. I've lost track of Grok because I never actually cared about Grok. It never seemed to be a particularly useful tool. No, not Grok. Kimi K3 by... Is it ZAI? It's like a... No. XAI is a different one. I might have mistook it, but there is a Chinese model called Kimi K3. It's an open source model, like open weights. You can download the weights, and if you have a powerful enough system, you can run it locally. Right? So, Kimi K3 is a thing, and it's supposed to be it is supposed to be better than Fable/Mythos. Right? So that's a big ouch. Also, another note on that front is that I think you reminded me about it with the Grok stuff, is that SpaceX is floundering, right? SpaceX has, like, their stock prices have dipped below their opening evaluation. It's going down. It seems to still be going down, so that's problematic. Semiconductor companies are starting to see reduced growth. I think Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are all starting to go down. Basically, it seems like a lot of investors are like... I mean, there's a couple of different things that I follow, right? But point is, there is mounting evidence that the investor appetite for returns has outpaced their appetite for risk, right? Basically, they're saying, hey, we've been doing this AI thing for like 4 years now, like 4 or 5 years now, and where's the money, right? Like, hey, I thought you said this was going to be profitable, except from what I understand, OpenAI and Anthropic both are are still selling tokens at a loss, because they need to maintain market share, but they're still burning through all of their investment capital super quickly. So it might even be end of this year that we see something. Yeah, so the question is, does open like if that is even true, right? I don't know if that's true. Right? You are saying that it's forecasted that by 2029, friggin' all of this AI stuff has been saying, oh, it'll be whatever in 5 years since the beginning. Do you remember that back when all of this started, back when LLMs were getting big, all of the AI companies said, we're getting close to AGI. We're getting super close to AGI. We're the next model has been like breaking out of sandboxes, yada 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 yada. They all of this big fear mongering nonsense. When Mythos came out, they were saying, "Oh no, Mythos is so dangerous that we can't, um, so we can't give it to anyone. We need to create this special project, yada yada yada." So that's like all advertising, right? That profit prediction saying, "Oh, ChatGPT will be generating a profit by 2029," is advertising for investors. And even that I'm assuming is probably not great, because you have to remember, OpenAI and Anthropic and all of these big AI companies, they don't just need to be making some profit, right? In order to meet, say, to deliver on the promises they've made in terms of the infrastructure build out in terms of everything else that they did, right? They need to vastly they need to earn like absolutely stupid amounts of money. They need to earn enough money to like um make entire say like to basically like they're currently between Nvidia and all the tech companies throwing money at AI is like one of the main things that's holding up the US economy, right? Because everyone is spending on infrastructure and shit for that, and it's basically saying, oh, okay, because all of the AI shit that's going on, we're getting a bunch of movement in the economy that might approach something. But at the same time, it's all circular movement, right? Right? If you look like the AI, say the AI circle jerk diagram, right? AI circular economy image. So, do you remember this image? Do you remember this image? This big thing from I think it was earlier this year, right? This is what this is what the AI economy still looks like. This is basically saying, hey, what we're doing with this is how money in AI works. Is everybody is giving money to someone else who is giving money to someone else. So it is so let's trace this line, right? So Nvidia gives say Nvidia's agrees to invest $100 billion in OpenAI. OpenAI uses this to buy Nvidia chips, or OpenAI spends 300 billion. They makes a 300 billion cloud deal with Oracle, who's going to buy Nvidia chips, or Nvidia is going to invest in XAI, who's going to buy Nvidia chips, or what do you call it? OpenAI says that they will buy 6 gigawatts of AMD GPUs, and if they buy if they if they deploy these AMD GPUs, AMD will allow OpenAI to buy up to 160 million shares. Like OpenAI is basically funding all of these startups that are using ChatGPT for shit. OpenAI and Microsoft are running a deal where Microsoft invests in OpenAI, and OpenAI like runs all of their shit on Azure. Um, Microsoft invests in Nebius, who is going to, like, say, Microsoft is going to buy a bunch of NVIDIA chips. That's another thing. CoreWeave. Everyone's investing in CoreWeave because they're being one of the hyperscalers, right? OpenAI, Intel, Microsoft. CoreWeave is just buying NVIDIA chips. Like, all of these is basically just saying, hey, everything is basically, we will give you some money to buy stuff from us. This is why people are saying that the AI market is a giant circular economy. It's like, imagine if, like, you write stories, right? Let's say you had $10. So you commissioned a story for your friend for $10. And he commissioned a story from his friend for $10. And his friend commissioned a story for you for $10, right? What that looks like on paper is everybody did $20 of business, right? They spent $10 and they got $10. Zero money actually entered or exited the system, but cash flow says that $60 worth of, like, economic activity was generated in this closed system. That is the AI market. Right? So, it's starting to look like, what do you call it? It's starting to look like investors are, like, actually starting to be, like, it's always been said that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solid. And that's kind of my whole stance on the AI bubble popping and why I don't give it a solid date. My vague opinion of it is that it's probably going to happen before the end of 2028. Right? That is the most precise I'm willing to be. Is that based on the information I have, I suspect that before 2028, say before the end of 2028, we are likely to see the AI bubble pop. And the way it's going to pop is like, the way it's going to pop is not, oh, AI goes away. It is, oh, we're no longer going to have super subsidized prices for AI. So suddenly we're not going to see, okay, you only pay $200 a month for a pro subscription on for Claude, right? You're not paying $200 a month. You're now paying, like, I don't know, friggin' $1,000 a month, right? I think that's close. It might even be more than that, depending on which calculation you do for how much AI companies are undercharging you for their tokens. It's anywhere between, like, oh, they're only making a 50% loss to, oh no, it's like they're literally getting less than 10% the value of those tokens in cash, right? AI tokens 721. But okay. So yep. Okay, so this isn't an exact value, right? But in this person is basically saying, hey, theoretically, the $200 ChatGPT subscription is if you used all of your tokens. You are theoretically OpenAI is spending is spending about $14,000, right? It's 70 times. So that's not that's not the best calculation, like not the best way of doing it. There are better calculations, like depending on how you do it, the numbers can go anywhere from, oh, it's only like twice or 5 times as much. Which is why I said, okay, no, in the future maybe they'll make it so that instead of charging $200 a month for like a top tier OpenAI subscription, it is 1,000 now, right? So it's going to go, okay, suddenly an AI, say suddenly AI is actually, um, yeah. But basically is, yeah. Yeah, so currently, all the AI, so now the thing about that is the math around that is super funky because it depends on like how you calculate the depreciation of AI compute hardware, and yeah, and like also depends on like power costs and yada 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 yada. Depending on how you calculate all of that. Depending on how you calculate all of that. The actual value is super different, but no AI company is going to be able to maintain the current level of utilization at something like 1,000 USD a month. Most countries, people wouldn't be able to afford something like that. Maybe like the cheaper model. Maybe it'll end up that, oh, we get some cheaper models, like I don't know, some of the frontier models, say some of the new open source models that can run on smaller things, or they figure out other ways to do do inference cheaper and yada 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 yada. But point is, the way I kind of expect things to work out is that once the AI bubble pops, we're probably going to lose one or two of the big, the big AI companies. Most likely, OpenAI is just going to get eaten up by Microsoft, and Anthropic is going to get eaten up by Amazon. So it'll be like Microsoft OpenAI, right? Something like that, or whatever. There's a non-zero chance that like Oracle gets like broken up into smaller companies so that the SaaS service, say the SaaS side of things, can survive, and the infra side of things get like parted out to pay off bankruptcy stuff. And depending on, like, for example, in a let's say in a data center environment, the way I understand it is that the big AI GPUs, right, like the big TPUs and stuff, have an operational lifetime of about 5 to 10. Like, I'm going to be generous and say 10 years. Let's look this up. Data center GPU operational lifespan. Okay, so apparently, depending on how, say, at least according to this article from Tom's Hardware, a GPU in a data center might only last 3 years, right? So if we take like Vera Rubin GPU cost, so apparently, Nvidia is charging like is charging about 55,000 US dollars for like a modern spec GPU. So if we expect that to last like 5 years on the high end, say 5 years to be generous, that is about $10,000 a year of depreciation, right? That means that if we do 10,000 divided by, so if we do 11,000, say, if we do 11,000 divided by 365, $30. A GPU, and this is ignoring power costs, which are also going to be massive, right? Because like, how much does how much does Vera Rubin GPU PDP? Okay, apparently it is like 2.4 kilowatts, say 2.3 kilowatts of energy, which is stupid amounts of power, right? A kilowatt hour in the US, kilowatt hour cost US, is about 13 cents. So if we do so 13 times 60, no, 30 times 20, okay, so that means about $3 a day per GPU. So it's about $33 every single GPU. And you have to remember that like modern frontier models require like friggin' 8 of them in parallel or some nonsense like that, right? Each GPU would have to make about about $33 a day just to break even. Okay, yeah. Yeah, apparently Vera Rubin should be able to handle at least like some of the models that I've seen, some of the frontier level models I've seen. So yeah, let's assume that a Vera Rubin GPU needs to be able to handle friggin' $33 of, like, to be generous, it needs to earn $33 a day. So if we do $33 a day times 30 days for your average month, a Vera Rubin GPU needs to make back about $9,400 a month to break even. So, assuming $1,000 subscription, $1,000 a month subscription, you would need the GPU to be able to service 10 people to start turning a profit. And this is assuming that they've got like the highest level non-token limited stuff. And you know that that means that all of those people are going to be running like agentic loops and all that nonsense where they've got like tokens pouring out of their ears. And they're doing shit tons of weird ass coding. Right? So the way I see it is that things are going to stabilize within the next 2 years. And we're going to see like some enterprise scale AI. And we're going to see some local AI for people who are running like the smaller models. And yada 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 yada. But the modern, we'll just replace people with we'll just replace people with LLMs. You would need to replace multiple people. It wouldn't be cheaper unless your AI could do the job of several employees to do that. And yeah. Also, I do not think AGI is possible with LLM technology. But that's where we go. And it meant that. Also, thank you. Okay. Rested. They met up with the friend, the magistrate. Next. The rest of the delegation would be allowed to explore the limited Uh. I'll pave their way to the central console for themselves to watch the others as they floated along the axis. A subtle breeze fluttering their coat around. As they as it wrapped around their form and It was clear whom among had experience in, working in a microgravity environment like this. Grayson, who traveled a great deal for business, where all of this had picked. Some of the magistrates gods who were able to keep their hands close to their weapons as they some of the magistrates gods, as they mostly kicked off of the handholds rest. The magistrate herself, however, wasn't one. Much like rest of for a lot. Much like the rest of the Victus, the Coalition Council. She was fastidious Uh, of keeping to 3 points on the rung of the ladder that allowed them to crawl along the wall of the making their way. I will make her towards the control room. Simply hover, just barely less than, just barely keeping the wall within reach. Uh, 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 as the wait for the rest of the group to emerge and the small and all the consoles were currently simply push their way simply push their way over the central began. This is the hall and began preparing things for the handover. This is the heart of teams will give yours the appropriate training to make use of it. So yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up in like another another couple of minutes, but how have things I'm assuming you already grabbed dinner. I'm just trying to get this to how to post. Teams will give yours the appropriate training to make use. But it allows you to monitor and manage the various systems. Keep track of the. What you have? Ooh. What game are you playing? Track of the fuel reserves and reactor status, as well as control the docking systems, make as well as hull integrity and environmental. Manage. You also have full control over the dog. You're able to control charge times, and door access. As well as eject vessels that are to cause There are also additional hookups and APIs for if you want to add in some defense system. But for now, the majority, for now, are relying the relative secrecy and hoping and the intended ESF escort. Shall have access. For now, this engine flashed a small memory. Contains the private access codes for the station. I'll be configuring the system to accept a new control phrase. I am currently what? So I once hand it over to you. You can enter whatever. Whatever password. Whatever password you wish to authorize. Then we can go about setting some basic access control for us. Setting up basic count so that we all can. So you know how to utilize general. It should be that's where we end for today. Bye.